Hey, this William King Hollis, international motivational speaker, man. Meet me in the apartment.
Hey, Parlay, meet me at the apartment.
Yo, you already know this your boy Parlay. And we're in the apartment with Parlay. Meet me in the apartments. Listen, y'all already know I love my city, Atlanta. Only thing I love more than Atlanta is the west side of Atlanta. Shout out to Bankhead, long live Swall, long live Charlotte Low, rest easy, buddy, a.k.a. We Fly. Listen, I do what I do, not just for me, but for y'all too. I understand that I come from the same place a lot of people come from, who tap in with me. You know what I'm saying? And, being from the project, being from the jet, you know what I'm saying? Coming from the slum, everybody always got visions of being somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody from the hood who don't got a vision of being something bigger. You know what I'm saying? Whether they become it or not. But I think that the reason a lot of people don't get a chance to reach their end goal is because they lack the motivation. I never understood why trainers got paid so much. Trainers don't get paid to show you how to work out. You could go to Instagram, YouTube for that. Trainers get paid to motivate you. Come on, let's go. Another one. Push. That pushes you to fight through whatever you're going through. And my next guest is somebody who come from that, and his gift is to be able to speak. And through this voice, he's been able to connect with a lot of people like me and a lot of people like y'all who need the motivations. Y'all know it ain't nothing like when you wake up in the morning and you fresh, roll that motherfucker up, you fired up, you say your prayers, you fire that thing up. First thing you do, goddamn, after you brush your teeth, wash your face, you jump on the ground. You jump on the ground and then you see that motivation, niggas on that motherfucker. Yeah, nigga, if you up this morning, nigga, go get you. That shit boosts your day, boy. It do for me. You know what I'm saying? That shit boosts your day. It ain't nothing like it. And over the past 2-3 years, I've been seeing a guy just keep pop up in my shit. Facebook, Instagram, And I was just like, this nigga be talking that shit, bro. Boom, gotta tap in what the fuck going on. Fast forward, I get a DM. Well, we gotta goddamn get something in. It's like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we gotta get something in. I'm like, hell yeah, boy, I ain't goddamn see you goddamn interview with me. It hit me goddamn DM. I'm like, hell yeah, boy, I been watching your shit anyway. But you know how when you stay focused like that, shit kind of got lost in the sauce. Fast forward, I'm on the same thing I told you. I'm up one morning, I see it. But you know what? But fuck that, hit that nigga DM right now. Boom. Go to the DM. I see about 20 other DMs. I hit them. We connect. Immediately. Energy class immediately. Too many similarities immediately. Same vision, same feel, same thing immediately. That let me know that I'm in the right place. So I'll just like to welcome my next guest, William King Hollis.
Hey, man, thank you, man, for having me on the show. I do so many podcasts all over the United States, man. But it's certain podcasts that I know talks and speaks to the people that I love the most, man. And that's the people at the bottom. That's the people from the trenches. My whole motivation in this is really, like I tell people, I never really want nobody to thank me because of the simple fact that I used pain, and when I spoke to people, every person that was inspired by me, every brother that I seen went through the same thing I went through, every sister that went through the same thing my sisters and my mother went through, they healed me, man, by me being able to speak to them. And I guess in a nutshell, I was speaking to myself, man, and the world just happened to hear. That's my motivation, and I think that's the reason why it touches people. I grew up humbly, man. My grandmother moved from Monroe, Louisiana, to a city called Pontiac, Michigan. She ended up basically running numbers. Then she started cooking crack, had 12 kids, taught all of them how to sell crack as well. It was like a gladiator school for drug dealers. And I grew up watching the mayhem, you know, the shootings, the killings, the stabbings, the dysfunctional homes, to the point where my mother had me at 17 years old and had a trap around the corner. So, you know, I was really born
in this shit.
I was born in it, King. But one thing about me, King, I always knew that I wanted more. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Your hair is sticking straight out of this. Sorry, gotta get it right.
Oh, you good? You good?
All right, baby. Hold on.
This was sticking straight out the hole. Looked like you was trying to get that back angle. That back angle? Yeah, you good. My apologies.
You good?
Get that right, cause you gotta take the camera shit back.
You all right? Get back to it.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, so, you know, growing up was like it was chaos. That's where I got that quote where you cannot be great if you cannot operate in chaos. And that's my life, man. That's what I come from. I learned to adapt to it. I learned to understand that as a black man, you're going to have to be exceptional in everything you do. And you're going to have to seize your moment with every opportunity you get. You know, I was a great football player. Growing up, my father was an All-American. Magic Johnson sat on my grandmother's couch, took him on a recruiting trip. And
Oh, goddamn it, hold on. Magic Johnson came.
to my grandmother's house.
You were there?
No, I wasn't even born yet.
Oh, you weren't born yet?
Yeah, he was about 18, 17, 18
Damn.
at that time. And, you know, these are stories I heard when it was coming up, but this is how the trajectory of our family changed. My dad went to the university, ended up going to the University of Indiana, came back for a break to see the family. My uncle, his little brother, my Uncle Oliver, was supposed to pick him up. They had talked on the phone that day. And before my father got to the station, and when he got to the station, my grandmother informed him that my uncle was shot up multiple times. And they said after that moment, my father, through football, he was definitely 6'5", 268 pounds, running a 4.4 40, defensive tackle, defensive end.
God damn.
And you know, he changed his whole trajectory of his life and started to create mayhem and wanting to get payback on anybody that had something to do with his brother. So, you know, my life it could have went, and it's a lot of our lives, it could have went so many different ways. And that's when I start understanding about fathers that some people may say, you know, he a deadbeat, he ain't this, he ain't that. I feel like a lot of us go through things, traumatic situations where it stunts our growth. It keeps us from growing. We stay that childlike person that was hurt all the way into adult, and it'll stunt our growth. And I believe my father had the same gift of leadership as I have, and even more. You know, but unfortunately, his path was a different path. He was you know, Eastside Pueblo blood. You know, stood on business, and unfortunately, you know, this past Christmas Day, he was murdered in Detroit, Michigan. So, you know, thank you, man. And after losing him, I already lost my mother to a heroin overdose. You know, she died in a crack house, foam from her eyes, foam from her mouth. Last time I ever saw my mom, King, she was in a courtroom with a couple scabs on her arms, and from running out of the store. At this time, I was an All-American at Clark Atlanta University at this time. And I came down and to see my mom, and she was in handcuffs. And I remember her trying to stand up because she didn't expect me to come back. But she had ran into the store and tried to steal food. And you know, my mother was so strong, I couldn't believe, you know, when I left the college, my mama was, you know, in the house with, you know, my brother, my sister, my baby brother, and then my stepfather ended up taking her baby boy, my baby brother, to Louisiana with him, and she was out there by herself, and I saw a woman that, you know, that was molested as a child by her father, and she fought King to make sure that it was the most normal life we could possibly have. And to see my mother in there like that, man, that was the last time I saw my mother alive. And, you know, I was chasing this dream of making it to the league and playing football. And after my All-American year, I was nominated for the D2 Heisman. Terry Boughton brought me to the University of North Alabama. At this time, I was like top 25 inside linebackers in the 2011 draft class. Played against Raymond Moore that went to the Baltimore Ravens, all those guys. And going into the spring of me going to play my year with Terry Boughton, the mother of my child, mom was paralyzed in a car accident. So she was going to move back with her mother, but now her mother is paralyzed. So she basically called me and said, you gotta leave school. I need help with your daughter. Mm-hmm. So Terry Boughton tried to bring him there, but her mother paralyzed. She got to be a caretaker, take care of her. So it was a moment in my life where I had to make a decision. Like, I'm trying to save my mama, but now I got a daughter, and I'm got these emotions like, oh, my dad wasn't there for me, and well, if I'm not, my mom, dad wasn't there, well, I'm not there for my daughter, and then I'm still thinking about saving my mom. So I called my mom, and I asked her, I said, Mom, I got to go take care of my daughter. She always waited for me to make it to the league. She always knew I had it in me. And I remember her on the phone telling me, like, you know, you made me proud. Basically, you know, you choose your daughter. And on that phone call, she basically told me, you know, you made me proud, and you fought as long as you can. Me too. And that was her words. She said, me too. And it was almost like I got off the phone and I knew, you feel me, like how I'm out damn near ran out of time, you feel me? And I ended up going down there getting a job as a therapeutic assistant. I worked in the hospital, and you know, I worked up enough money to get the mother of my child, my daughter Halo, into a house. And I called one of the old coaches, Kelvin Powell, that was at Clark Atlanta, and I was like, Coach, I need a new school to go to, man. He said, call Tuskegee. So Tuskegee gave me an opportunity to go down there. Right before I went down to Tuskegee, I flew to LA to train and get back in shape. My cousin was Sam Rogers. He ended up adopting me in like the 11th grade, moving me to Los Angeles to play football. He had just finished his career. He's playing with the San Diego Chargers on his last year, and then he took a coaching job at Alexander Hamilton High School, same high school Nipsey Hussle went to, Kyler Pratt, and all those people. So, you know, when I'm in a week into training, I get a phone call and they say, Will, your mom passed away of a heroin overdose, and I was this close, bro, to you know, to doing what I promised her I'd do. And when I lost her, bro, you know, I lost a lot. I lost a lot of myself, you know, because growing up, you don't realize that we do all these amazing things because we looking at mama, you know, we looking at, I got to make this happen, you feel me? I got to win. It ain't no if I win, I got to win. And to lose out and run out of time to save her, it devastated me. So I went to college. I flew to Pontiac, Michigan, and buried her. You know, barely had enough money. Casket was too small. I had nothing. You know, I felt worthless, bro. And I'm at this time I'm 21, 22 years old, and my mom 36 years old, gone. You know what I mean? And I look at that, and I remember seeing her like that, and you know, the only thing that went to my head was like, all right, I gotta save the rest of I tried to find a motivation, but never really found that same motivation that I had with my mom. So my cousin, we took care of the funeral, worked the deal. He drove me to Birmingham, Alabama. He drove me to Tuskegee to go to school. And before we got there, only reason he drove me because we had to drop off some dog food in Birmingham. He dropped some dog food off in Birmingham, and he took me down into Tuskegee. I got into Tuskegee, man, and went into the camp. Wasn't in all the way best shape, but worked my way up to getting a full scholarship with them. And I had to set out a year, NCAA rules, and come back to follow. Yeah. So I set out that whole year. Tuskegee embraced me. You feel me? I did. You know, I had shout out to a legend named Nino out of Tuskegee, Alabama. I went into a place called the 4-6, the Club 4-6. And I went in there, and it's this dude named Nino. He from Louisiana, moved down there with his brother, play football too. But Nino had the bows, you feel me? And he gave me a couple. I ain't had no money. I ain't had nothing. I said, man, I'm out here. You know, I told him a little bit about my story, and he felt me. And, you know, threw me a couple bowls. You know, college have a couple bowls.
Real nigga shit. Real nigga,
you
man.
You a millionaire, dog.
Yeah, drop a bum for him, man. Drop a bum for real nigga, man.
So,
yeah.
you know, I always, you know, the blessing about me, I really had the opportunity to live a college athlete and a high school athlete life, but on the weekend with my pops, you know, we going to the Walmart, get boxer briefs, put dog food to go to Vegas. You feel me? That was my week. After the Friday night football game, I'm switching off with pops. We going to Vegas. You know, I'm on the strip. Pops got me in the big T-shirt, chain, the big glasses, and I'm living like I'm a grown man. You feel me? That's how he treated me, and that's one thing I can say about my father, man. Man, that king, he taught me how to watch my surroundings. He taught me how to eat off the land. You feel what I'm saying? How to never wait for no man to give you no meal. You feel what I'm saying? And those lessons that he taught me, I think is what propelled me in my speaking career when I started in the shelter. When I'm at the bottom, I don't see the bottom. You feel me? I see a trampoline. You feel me? I understand that wherever I'm at, if I wake up in the trenches, tomorrow I can wake up in the palace. Sure, it's all about my mentality. It's all about how I attack it. And I also understood that you can cry about your past pain. And I came across this book, man, by Napoleon Hill. And it talked about these soldiers that took an island, right? About burning the ships of the past. And what happened was these soldiers attacked this island, King. And when they attacked the island, they ended up having more opposition than they expected. So the soldiers, the general saw the fear in their eyes. So he sent one of his lieutenants back to the boats to burn the ships. So when his soldiers looked back or was ready to run, they already understood there was nothing to run to. The only thing you can do is go ahead. You got to fight ahead. You might got to bleed a while. You might got to lay down and bleed a while. But as long as you don't stop fighting, you will make it on the other side of that island. And that's what I learned about us in life. When you got no choice but to win, you got no choice but to fight for your life, it's amazing what you can do, dog, when you understand this. But I realized that not everybody in my community got this strength in their mind. Not everybody in my community understand that they not the scum of the earth, but you the most royal of the earth. You know what I mean? And once you understand who you are as a black man and a black woman, it's nothing in this world that you can't accomplish. The pain that I went through, dog, is the purpose. That was the purpose that God gave me. When I started in that shelter, Parlay, could nobody ever tell me that I'll make history in Milan.
Okay, let's slow down for a second. Boom. I wanted to follow you too at the same time. You had a chance to move to Cali. The situation ended up coming back again. All right. Boom. End up going to college, Clark. Boom. Situation ended up having you back out again. Boom. Had to make the choice between mom and child, my daughter. Boom. Choose daughter. Boom. That situation happened. Boom. Now I'm ready to get back in football. Go to Tuskegee. You got to sit out a year. Boom. Do you get a chance to play again?
Absolutely. They allowed me to play in the homecoming game. One of the coaches did some research on me. He didn't recruit me. So when I came in and earned a scholarship, the coach did some research on my name and all this other stuff. And when I went to Tuskegee, you know, in Clark, Atlanta, they allowed you to play the ball. Yeah. You know, you wasn't no robot. You know them type of coaches, you know, when the DN at the end, they want you to wrong arm and turn your whole body when the quarterback can bootleg and run out. And I'm taught, I'm hitting here, I'm keeping outside hand free for everything, for anything coming out here. So I'm not used to that style of football. I was the year before, before I came there, I had 14 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for loss with a forced fumble and a pick 6 versus Tuskegee. So they knew what I was, you know what I mean? But the coach told me I did one thing that he didn't like. I mean, we went practices where these people couldn't even get a playoff, King. I'm dominating them. And they got me rushing off the edge and playing middle linebacker. So I play outside, middle, and the edge. So one day he got off the field and he said something about one of my father's cases. And I couldn't believe that he had went that deep. You know what I mean? It shocked me. And when he said it, he looked me in my eyes, and the first time in my life, bro, I saw a black man look at me like he was disgusted. And, you know, usually we say, you know, fuck that nigga, forget him. It hurt me. Like I never seen, you know, a elder individual look at me like I'm that, but he not realizing, dog, do you know what I just fought through, fam? You know I just buried my mama, fam? You know what it took for me to earn this full scholarship? But this was God, though. Probably I knew God was telling me the whole time that this ain't, you thought that this was your purpose.
What'd you do? What'd you do?
I went out there, King, on
No,
home.
so when he said, what'd you do? You just walked away?
I walked away. He was the authority. He was the authority. Because at the end of the day, at that present time in my life, I had nobody to go back to. Wherever I was at, that's my home. Tuskegee was my home. A lot of college kids, they went to college to go to college. No, this is my home. When I left there, I lost my spot. This is my home now. So what happened was, in the middle, after the homecoming game, I had 2 sacks in a row. Boom, boom, they put me in. I kicked my foot up, and blew a kiss to the sky to my mom. The coach pulled me out again because he said that I was showboating. And the whole time, this man, I'm explaining to him, I'm like, man, I lost my mom. I wanted to blow a kiss to her. You feel me? I'm talking to her. So one of the coaches saw that after the game. He ain't put me in the game for the rest of the game, King. He kept me out. I kept to the next game, still didn't put me in the game. Then one of the coaches said, Will, you two, I want to put you on a professional arena team in Columbus with the Columbus Lions. He said, I want to do this because I know you're gonna. I feel like you at least get you a CFL shot here instead of staying here. So King, he put me with the Columbus Lions. You know, I met a young woman who you know I end up marrying from Yonkers, New York, and basically I was young. At this point, I'm just loving anything that'll love me. You know what I mean? I'm so broken, but I'm down there playing football. So I'm down there playing football. We going through relationship problems because I'm young, don't know nothing about marriage, don't know nothing about communication, don't know nothing about none of that. And what happens is I go into another depression because what I did was, this is what I learned what people do. You will stack all these bricks on this shallow shelf and you'll never deal with your emotions. But if you never deal with the emotion that hurt you the most in the past, once you put that Band-Aid on, that Band-Aid ripped off, that pain come back 10 times harder. So I'm alone again. So I'm down there, I'm balling out, King. I make the team. I'm on the team. They got me in the apartment down there. I'm just happy, you know, to be in the apartment.
Yeah.
I'm playing again. Yeah. I'm going back to the campus like, oh, I'm playing a pro ball, but I'm still in school. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I go down there and I play, bro. I get in depression. We break up, go through a divorce, all in probably like 9 months of being married, doing some crazy stuff. And I'm depressed like a man be when he go through something like that. And, you know, the coach say, Will, I've never seen you like this. We got to release you. So now I end up on my knuckles, King. I had to go all the way back home and sleep on my sister's couch. And shout out to my sister, Kyra. I was laying on the couch.
Oh, dog night, Kyra.
That's crazy. And I'm laying on her couch, and she look at me. I'm moping every day. She said, Will, you lost your mama. You crying about losing a woman? You crying about not having nobody? You come from this. So she go and give me a YMCA pass so I can get back in there and start working out. Then I get I'm writing messages on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I get a message from a guy named Marcus Taylor. My mom used to take up for him in middle school when he used to get bullied because he was little. Now he's a world-renowned bodybuilder. So he said, hey, Will, I'm over here in Toronto, Canada. I want to bring you over. Come over here to Canada and train with me. So, King, I go all the way over there, get in the best shape of my life. Meet some a Jamaican family, bro. And that's where I learned the power of sticking together and how powerful it is. You know, with them, they have a house, a 5-6 bedroom house, but they got 6-7 people staying in there, so the rent like 10 cents to them. So you looking at that, they'll stay in this house, and the ones that progress and get their life together and get the bag, they disperse. But what they do is they'll bring another family member over from Jamaica, and they'll all, and eventually this house will be empty, and all these people, and then they'll start over and do it again. And that's when I learned the power of us loving each other. So when I'm sitting over there, bro, I'm getting in the best shape. I'm swole. I'm big as hell. I'm ready to go back to the States, do my thing. I remember getting on the plane, bro. I was so sad leaving that family, leaving them people, that you know, I just was like, I gotta do something with my life, man. I gotta keep playing. I gotta keep doing this. So they invite me over. I get a contract with the a team out in Rome, Georgia, the Rome Fire. I came out there. They told me it's a state-of-the-art stadium. King, I get out there. It's the chitlin circuit. You hear me? I get out there, King. It's the chitlin circuit. So they say we eat 4 square meals a day. I'm going in there, man. We eating ramen noodles every day. But I'm not realizing that I got high blood pressure. One day I have a mini stroke in the apartment. How you gotta understand? This is my only place to live, dog. This is I can't. I said I gotta fake it. So I get in the game, play after a day of having a mini stroke, bro. I played the game, had one of the worst games in my life. I'm swole. I'm looking like the weakest thing in the world. I'm not even looking nothing like what they read about me or watched about me. So they caught me. God ain't making a mistake. Now football just it's
you like man, you know what?
I like this.
Hold on, I gotta reevaluate this shit.
This ain't it. But then I get a email from a coach. The coach said, I released William Hollis. He said, man, I still believe in you. I want to bring you out here to Trenton, New Jersey. Now, this stadium was state-of-the-art. I mean, whole 5-star hotel, 4 restaurant deals. We eat meals every day. We got real travel bus. We even fly in the game sometimes. So I get down there, and I got to take a bus. I got no money. He said, only thing is, we can't pay to get you here. You got to take a bus. I called the mother of my child that I went to Boston. At this time, we're not together anymore. She sent me $180 to get me a bus ticket. But I spent that whole $180. I ate, literally got some Ritz crackers before I left, a couple Gatorades, and drank that all the way down to New Jersey, stopping. During this time, I'm like, dog, this is crazy, man. Like, I never thought my life would be like this. I'm feeling like at the lowest. I go in there, I get to the city, they give me a donut, an orange juice, and put me out there on the field, King. I got out there, hit dog with a spin move, dropped one of the former NFL linemen. He just fell off the spin move. And I do it again on the other side. Then the coach said, oh, yeah, we signing him. They signed me, King. Now I'm in the hotel.
You talking about?
Yeah, now I'm getting somewhere. And, dog, I go out there and play the best season. I end up passing every lineman. And it's the same season. I end up playing the same team that cut me. On that team, on Mother's Day, I had 6.5 sacks. I broke the single game sack record for the PIFL, the arena league that I was in. I break it on Mother's Day. I'm feeling like I'm having a full moment. Coming forward, and now I see the CFL scouts. They starting to manifest how I wanted. I said, I just want to get to Canada. The league cool. I just want to get to Canada because I love Canada. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to get back.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get back.
Family. I remember them.
So I go out there, and I seen the Canadian scouts talking to my coaches, and I always see my coach smiling, but every time he talked to me, he'd never tell me nothing. But then I go to a workout at the end of the season. And the Toronto Argonauts said, man, we were interested in you, but your coach said you were battling mental health from burying your mother. So he used my mother against me because he's a first-year coach, to keep me in Trenton, New Jersey another season. Because if he had another successful season, he moves up to a higher level. So he basically used me to continue his career, but not realizing this is my last shot at my dream. So I don't end up going. I find out what he did with the scout. I go off on him. They cut me, King. Throw my bags outside the hotel. I'm homeless again. I go down to Dover, Delaware, King, with a teammate at the end of the season. He take me down to Dover, Delaware. We bounce from house to house. I ain't gonna lie, college girl houses. We thugging it. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just thugging it. We sleeping on their couch, trying to be fake boyfriend, girlfriend to stay there for a little bit. And eventually, my brother got in a car accident. So he dispersed. He went to Delaware State. So he dispersed. His mom and them make him come to the crib after crashing the whip. I'm down there stranded. I'm in Dover, Delaware, dog. And I told myself this. I'd rather be homeless than to go back home, bro. That's how much pain it was there for me that I didn't want to feel it. So I stayed, and I was contemplating suicide, bro. I was writing stuff on Facebook. Like, bro, I hit the lowest point I ever hit in my life, dog. And a coach that I broke the single game sack record on hit me up on Facebook and said, William, you close to the PA area. I got a team out in Hershey, Pennsylvania, Marcus Colston team called the Harrisburg Stampede. I'd love for you to come play linebacker and defensive end for me. I said, Coach, I'm with it. Let's get it. So I get down there, King.
You don't got another shot. Hold on, goddamn. Hold on, you don't got another shot.
I got another shot, King. So all I'm looking for at this point is houses. I know when you go on these teams, you're going to get a house. You feel me? You're going to get food and shelter. You're going to get everything you need. Then I hit my partner that played at University of Alabama, Rod Woodson. And I say, bro, I need you to come down here to Hershey with me and play football. They excited to get him. He was one of the 5-star safeties for Alabama, all that good stuff. So he come down there with me. Now I got my dog down there with me. So we down there. One day I'm in the gym. I'm doing a power clean, King, and my whole right side go out. I went to the doctor. The doctor told me I got an L1 vertebrae crack. And if I hit somebody the wrong way, I could be a paraplegic. But at this point, Parlay, I'm home. I said, I don't care about none of that. I'm going to play. And let me tell you how God worked. This is how it all come full circle. Going into the season, the coach called us and say, Will, the team folded. Marcus Costa is no longer funding the team. He decided to end it. But this was the crazy thing. The doctor had just told me that if I hit another person, I'll be a paraplegic. I was going to play that season because I'm not going to be homeless. So God canceled that season, King. I never play that season. Then I go down to Reading, Pennsylvania with the coach where he stayed at. Wife allowed me to stay in the basement. Coach said, Will, can you help me coach this other smaller arena team? I want you to coach the D-line. I go out there, number one D-line in the league. I'm talking about number one, I'm coaching. And this is when I learned the power of coaching. It's like a video game. It's no better feeling in the world than teaching somebody something and watching them execute it. It's almost the closest thing to playing. It's
a drug.
You feel what I'm saying? It's a drug, kid.
It's a drug.
And I got into it and I did it. And one day there was a teacher in the crowd named Miss Robinson. And some nights I was able to sleep in the hotel. Because I had moved out, I didn't want to. My coach Nortowski, Italian, white wife. I'm the only black kid walking out. I'm getting stereotyped all the time. I said I'm gonna move in the hotel with the players. And like we ain't got hotel rooms for all the players, but some nights if they're available, we can go in. So some nights I sleep on side of the Turkey Hill gas station. Some nights a player would go off with a girl and I go sleep in their bed in their room. And one day I was at the Turkey Hill gas station, and Miss Robinson had brought some kids to the arena game. She said, we love how you talk to the players. We love how you motivate them. You think you can come talk to a group of our players? And I said, absolutely. I'm on the side of the Turkey Hill gas station pretending like I'm going to get coffee. And she was like, yeah, I want you to come today at around 12 p.m. And I went in, King. I spoke. It was called Reading Intermediate High School. I spoke to them, King. And within 5 minutes, they was in tears. And shit, I was in tears. Because the person I really realized, if you tell your story, it'll break you down, man. It'll really show you, like, what you really made it through. And it'll shock you sometime. And I told him the story, dog, and I'm walking back to the hotel. I'm depressed. I'm talking about my mom, talking about my father. I'm looking at my life, thinking about
So
how
now you
how
thinking
it
about
started,
everything you done said, you thinking about this
everything
shit
I've been
now.
through. So I got 4-5, you feel me? I'm about to go in the Abraham Lincoln Hotel in the bathroom and end it, dog. I was tired. After obviously everything I told you, I was tired, bro. And I felt like a failure. I felt like I let everybody down. And right before I got to the hotel, Miss Robinson called me and said, Will, how much you charge to speak? I got a 500 student assembly that I need you as a speaker. I said 75, 100, I ain't know nothing about speaking. Instead of going to the bathroom and commit suicide, I went to the computer room and typed in motivational speaker. That's what she called me. Les Brown popped up. He was speaking in the Georgia Dome. And I saw he talked about pain and kept that smile on his face. And I just studied them, King, just like how we study cats on the football field. I studied them. I went and delivered the speech. A 500 got a standing ovation. Every student came out the stands and hugged me when I finished, and they said it was the greatest speech in their school history. And after that, you fast forward it to now, King.
So I'm gonna stop you this. So you get another shot at football. Well, you thought you got another shot at football. Boom. It don't happen. You get put in a situation where you say, well, you know what? I'm willing to gamble this shit. Big man say, nah, bro. You got something for you. Get rid of the team. See, a lot of people ain't spiritual. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people just say, oh, man, they just goddamn it. Oh, he ain't want to fuck. Nah.
That's God, bro.
Nah.
That's God, bro.
Nah, I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying?
That was God, bro.
Boom. That happened. The same coach who got you there, who cut you the first time, and then you play against him, get the sack record against him, get you on the team. Now you with him.
Living in his house.
Living in his
I
house.
was living in his house.
Living in his
That's how
house.
bad he wanted me on the team.
You know what I'm saying? So boom, he found you another situation. Listen, you can't play, and he don't even know that you really can't play. But this how God, I spin it too though, right?
Yes, sir.
Boom. So I want you to come coach. At this time, do you really understand? Was you really understanding how powerful your voice was then?
When I did the assembly,
No, I'm talking about before. It's about when he said, I want you to come coach. Did you know how powerful your voice was?
no, not until I got with the players.
So you just, your passion through what you do and your passion through loving the game and not really getting a shot, taking all your situations and pouring it into these kids, trying to help them cross the finish line. You doing this every game. And this lady, she white lady?
No, black woman.
Black lady, okay. This lady sitting in the stands and she hearing you every game. And she ain't saying nothing to you. She just listening, watching you. And then one day after the game, you just like, she's like, I want you to come speak to these people at the gas station. You're going to speak to the people, tell them your story. You got everybody in tears. I'm pretty sure that I would guess that you telling the story wasn't really necessarily, you was just like, I'm making this up. It was just, like you say, most of your shit you do, it's come from here.
It's my life.
So you saying this shit, and at the same time, you giving this passion. Subconsciously, you thinking about all this shit at the same time. So when you leave, you just like, oh, that's the weight. That was just too much on me. I ain't, I'm finna, it's over with. It's over with. Mm-hmm. Only way this lady called you and say, how much do you charge? Now you get a chance to speak. You speak for them kids. All 500 kids come out, hug you. Has it clicked in your head yet then that, nigga, I might be good at this shit? Or are you just saying, I'm finna take the path of this another opportunity?
God told me right away. When I was walking out that assembly, I walked in that assembly a broken man. I walked out of that assembly with a purpose. And what I realized
he
was
did it in a day.
He did it in a day. He said, I remember saying, my granddad said, Will, he said, Will, the first thing that pays you is the thing that's gonna pay you for the rest of your life. You just gotta commit to it. So when they paid me that $7,500, whatever they gave me, that was $1 million to me. But I realized this is this moment. God told me that, Will, it was never your job to say mama or daddy. I took mama away to take the burden of your life, the pain that she was going through. She abused drugs because of being molested as a child. So that pain gone. You don't got to think about mama being in the courtroom or hungry or running out of the store no more. So all that love you have for mama, I want you to give it to my people. I want you to fight for them with the same passion you fought for her. So now every day I wake up, this is my joy. This is what keeps me alive. If a person takes my voice, if I don't got a voice, bro, I don't even want to be here no more. It's my job is done. That's why I live by the saying Les Brown used to say, live full and die empty. That's what I wake up every single day, probably to just give the world everything I got, man, to save a kid just like us that's coming from the trenches. Because I watch everybody talk to the rich. I ain't never seen nobody talk to the poor.
Facts.
And nobody cared.
Facts.
Nobody cared.
Facts. And that's one of my passions even doing this podcast. That's why I say, like, every time I break something down, I break it down for niggas. And I don't mean like to call them niggas, but my reference of what I'm saying of who we are in sense of knowledge.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, I really talk to them because I feel like they the ones who need the talking to. Everybody pulls from our culture and from the street culture. Everybody pulls from it. They take our artists, our lifestyle, they put it in movies and they put it in this, and they take these artists, they make they big brands and they give them anything. And now they promoting, they wouldn't even play, you couldn't even play cuss words back then. Now it's slide on them, kill on them, ride on them. Man, ain't no disrespect to the kids, you know, get your check, everybody done been in that part. I'm just talking about the fact of how all these labels now take that and they promote it now.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
It's a mass. This is the Black Holocaust.
Yes.
That's what the music industry has become.
Facts.
It's the Black Holocaust. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have this man up in this window looking down, dictating everything. And he telling that boy, hey, I want you to go tell your whole community to kill each other. And I'm gonna give you a couple million for it. Mm-hmm. So I tell brothers all the time, what people I think misconstrued in this day and age, they don't believe in Judgment Day. Mm-hmm. They live their life, they cause chaos, they cause mayhem, they tear people apart, and then when they land on that deathbed, what are you gonna say when you judged? Are you gonna be able to say, I helped my community, I helped my people, I helped further the kids that grew up just like me? Or did I help in the destruction of killing them? So my family, my little family, can sit in a mansion on the hill, but the rest of my people in the bottom of the hill burn. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that God always told me when I started this. He said, well, no matter how big you get, always stay with the bottom. Because if greatness can come from the bottom, just like those kids you coaching, every single time one of them kids come from the trenches, it's another seed watching them below. And the only difference is what you teach, your players gonna put their hand down and say, come on, brother. Come stand with me. Don't stand behind me. Stand with me. If I got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich here, if you a little bit more hungry than me, take a little bit more than me, fam. Look out for me next time. Mm-hmm. And people say, Will, what's the question? How can you save the black community? You got to be willing to give without wanting anything in return.
Say it again.
You're going to have to be able to give without wanting anything in return. And that's the true definition of sacrifice.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
That's what I know. So when I'm out here speaking, I thank God that he gave me a house, a beautiful wife, my babies. I get to see a house every day. I get to wake up and I feel like I'm in a fog because I ain't even used to this. Where you sitting on the couch and you watching your son crawl on the floor, but you still having flashback of the trenches. You feel me? And you looking at yourself like, is this real, cuz? Like, is this my house, fam? That's how detached of the world you become growing up in hell sometimes. I tell everybody, man, in Michigan sometimes, bro, you can put your hand on the ground and touch the devil's fingertips. That's how much evil it is sometimes, man. And these are a whole bunch of broken kids and broken kings, bro, that watch their mother pass a heroin overdoses and watch their father get murdered in their face, and all they told them to do is to keep going. But at that very moment, that soul died. So every time he out there on demon time, only thing he can see is the man that killed his father or the man that killed his mother or the boy that killed his daughter. So all you got now is a community of hurt individuals that all they want to do is eat each other. They just want to eat each other and look at each other like they nothing. But when they go around their counterparts, they walk past each other, they got manners, they got a great attitude. Let me tell you something, man. I want you guys to try this one day. You can invite 7 to 8, 9, 10 random black men to sit in the room and watch how uncomfortable they be. But you tell that black man to come to an AA meeting with all the white folks, he's comfortable. He look normal. Because I know it's true, because I sat in the room, a black man, and I felt it. And I realized, like, I said, what is this spell that this man put on me? And what's the solution to get it off me? And the number one thing that came to my head is erase everything that you thought you knew and reprogram your mind. You know, when a man gets shots, he struggles to walk. He gets shot in the leg, he got to go through rehab. That's the same thing with the brain. Our brain is injured. And rehab is the re-education of a black man. Books like The Message to the Black Man. Re-educating and relearning who you are.
Talk to him.
Because if you never learn who you are, King, you can never operate in your greatness. And a lot of these guys, you know, they do so many drugs, they stay so high. The sad thing about it, they gonna die in an unconscious state. Because they gonna drink lean, they gonna pop the pills, they gonna smoke so long till they realize one day, I never had a day that I was in my body. I've been living in a ghost state. And now I realize that, bro, at 34 years old, bro, I realize that this life is so short. Watching my father came home from doing 8 years, King. I flew back into Michigan after an event in Arizona. I got an Airbnb. What you want to do? You got a prison. You want to eat. My dad, he said, we want to eat because we ordered everything on DoorDash. He said, DoorDash, it's DoorDash. So yeah, about this shit DoorDash, just get some food. Because they bring it to you. They bring it to you. So we bringing the food in, I'm buying them all the food, man, and this is a moment in the house, bro, that I saw my dad look like a human. Whole life looked like Terminator to me. And I seen him falling asleep with his glasses on. And I was so proud, bro, because this was the first time I had a conversation with my father that he was my father. He wasn't a gangster. And he told me for the first time, he said, Will, I'm proud of you. He said, because Will, in our neighborhood, we had killers, we had robbers, we had con men, but we ain't never had no motivational speaker. He said, congratulations, son. I flew out of there, ended up giving birth to, my wife gave birth to my son, King. He was born 11 days before my father passed away. I remember in the hospital, he was born a month early, and he wasn't breathing correctly at first, and I'm scared, I'm frightened. And I remember my dad yelling at me on the phone. He said, don't you ever give up on your son. Don't you ever give up on your son with passion. Shit made me drop a tear because I was like, this my pops, you feel me? First time even experiencing this. And I talked to him, and then he ended up getting set up and killed. 11 days after my son was born. And I watched God bring my son into life in this world, and I seen him take my father. If I didn't have my son, man, I wouldn't even be here, bro. I tell everybody, man, I went through the depths of hell
You done been through a
to
lot,
be
dog.
this man, to be the man I am, bro, to stay the course and to understand my purpose. But if I never understood my purpose, I would have been just like these guys. But I realized this. My father passed away, bro, and that was the last parent I had. I realized that God' job for me, bro, was to take that pain that he gave me, use that pain to connect with kids that's all around the world that most people can never connect to, and let them know that the best gifts come from the bottom. So every day I wake up, I tell everybody, man, I've been working for God. You see my videos come up your Instagram page. It ain't because I got no machine of ads running. That's because the content, what I'm telling you, is just real. And it's written by God. Les Brown said, Will, the kingdom is voice activated. Everything is activated. When your son say, Dada, for the first time, it activates you. When the first time he say, Mama, it activates her. You know, first time they say, I love you, it activates you. Imagine if you could never hear those words. It would never be no activation.
Talk to him.
So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm activating every day, man.
Yeah, you activate
I'm
that.
just
Me
inspiring, and I want all these kings that's getting out of prison, you know, all these kings that feel like they locked in the hood. What if I told you that your story is the key to your freedom? What if I told you your pain is worth millions? And I tell everybody, when you grow up in a life of pain, your ass better go get $1 million for every tear you drop. That should be your mentality for the rest of your life when you rehabilitate your mind. But to rehabilitate yourself, it's going to be hard, man. You're going to sweat at night. You're going to cry. You're going to have to feel the pain. You can't keep drinking liquor and smoking and covering up all this pain that you got. Because guess what? Well, God said, you can't get nowhere if you don't forgive. And we'll be so high, we'll forget the main fact. We can't go nowhere if we don't forgive. And we'll die. There's so many black men that died on that pavement, angry. They ain't nothing but babies, man. And what I tell you about, like I told you earlier, it was a moment in their life they hurt themselves so bad that it stunted their growth. That innocent child growth was stunted because of a traumatic moment in their life. That young woman that's molested as a child, but we consider snitches in our neighborhood if we go and tell on this uncle. It's millions of women in this world right now, millions of women that has been taken advantage of and never spoke about it. Millions of women that I see on the street addicted to drugs because of that very fact, because as a child, their innocence was taken. And nobody nobody replaced it. Nobody told them that it ain't their fault. Nobody told them that monster cannot control your destiny. And I live by this. I believe men that take advantage of any woman should be shot down, murdered, and killed on the spot.
For sure that.
You should not get a cage for rape, my brother. You need a death penalty. And I don't want the white man to do it.
For sure. Nah, for sure.
We want to do it.
Nah, for sure. Justice in the street. For sure that.
Because once you take the earth, the woman, once you destroy the woman, it's like destroying the earth, my brother. And you want to see, you watch the generation of women right now, they wonder why they got the sexy, where they got all these type of women, because these women been abused for so long that they became numb and desensitized, and now the women is doing what the men used to do to them. And the man can't take it. That's why you keep seeing on the news, man shoots woman, man kills woman, because a woman is more emotionally strong than a man.
Facts. The woman is the only woman that can get cheated on and still lay down next to you that night. Give you a kiss and might be mad at you, but still lay down and be loyal to you. A man couldn't dare.
You lying.
A man couldn't dare, dog.
He motherfucking lying, boy.
So you got to look at it. Look how strong they are, man. Look how amazing they are. And you got brothers. Brothers that waited on their father to come home. Waited at the door as a child for their father to come home, but nobody ever came. Every weekend, I'm coming to get you, little man, I'm coming to get you. But nobody ever came. And every day he missed, that boy became angry. He became angry. He became angry. And then he let a street punk become his father.
Talk to him.
And when that street punk become a father, he don't know the whole resume of this punk. All he knows is what he pretending to be. He might got tattoos on his face out here, but when he in jail, he got Kool-Aid on his lips and his hair in a ponytail.
Talk to him.
But they come out with the tats on their face and looking like a killer. But let me tell you this, that punk gonna take your son and he gonna make him do everything he was afraid to do.
Facts. Don't happen.
And then when that kid is in prison for 25, 30 years, he realized the whole time when that big homie come back throughout that penitentiary, he was a punk the whole time. And all you got left is 28 years.
That's it.
That's all you got to show for it.
Even more anger.
So if you never, it's like the game of Operation, Parlay. You know the game when you hit it, you gotta remove all of those pieces. It's something that the nation does. It's called diagnostics. And it takes you down memory lane of your worst, terrible moments. And every worst moment, you got to stop. And you got to talk about that moment. And it's like the game of Operation. Okay, we remove that. What if I told you the anger that these kids display is not really the child? It's what they seen from their parents and their mother. So if your mother is always saying, well, F you, B, this, that, that's his DNA. That's not your DNA. That's their DNA being infused into you. So whole time you as a child, you never had the opportunity to grow into yourself. You was forced to be them.
Facts.
And now you grow into an adult and you say, look, I don't even know who I am. How many black men say that?
Shit, I say it about a lot of people.
Man, I don't know who I am, man. I don't know what I'm supposed to be. That's because nobody properly loved you, dog. The foundation of every man and woman is love. The difference between that hitman and that notorious killer in that neighborhood is just the neighborhood. If he was raised in an area when people woke up in the morning, they said good morning, that's what he would have became. But if you grew up in a neighborhood when you watch your brothers and sisters and you got a family of, I sell dope. My uncle went down, now I pick up the mantle. My uncle go down, I pick up the mantle. And then at the end of these years, 20, 30 years later, you realize I done wiped out my whole fucking family. I wiped my whole family out. And now I look at my father, I look at my mother born into a crack house, a gladiator school for crack where it was accessible. Where she ended up start using it at 14, 15 years old. Then you watch my father do the same drug because he can't take the pain. He felt like them bullets for his little brother was for him. So I had two parents that was broken. That was broken. But my mama used to always say, when I used to come on with this IEP paper I couldn't read till I was 16, she used to always say these words. She said, "Yo, you the chosen one." And this is what she said. She said, "You're not dumb. God gave you a special gift, boy. You ain't going to understand until you become a man." She just said it with so much energy. And when I grew up and I became who I am right now, it was all written in my mother's womb to speak to my people, to put it in layman terms so they can understand. And not be an individual standing in front of you talking, but I lived it with you, cuz. I barely could pay for my mama's funeral too, cuz.
Now look at me.
We the same.
And in the streets right now, in this generation, they can see real from a mile away.
Yeah.
You can see fake from a mile away.
I'm telling you.
And I'm on a mission to let my brothers and sisters know, dog, that somebody love you, somebody care for you, black woman, somebody value you, somebody love you. You doing your best as a single mother. Never cry about what you can't do. Because I used to watch my mom cry about the things she couldn't do for me. And every time she cried, I felt like I was the problem. I felt like I was supposed to take care of this. And this was as a little boy. And sometimes, young kings, if you're watching this, you're going to have to become a man before you become one. And that's just the chips that lay for us sometimes. That's how the dice roll for us. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid to be a man. And don't cry about your father not being here, because I got a question that I give every man that blame his father.
Talk to him.
If God gave you two choices, he said, I'll give you life with no father or no life at all. What you choosing? I want life.
For sure that.
I want an opportunity. Sometimes when gladiators went off king, they daddies ain't never come back home.
For sure that.
They had to be a warrior on their own. And I'm going to tell you now, King, it ain't fair. But this shit necessary. You want to make it? You got to stop crying about your past and burn them shits, dog. That's what's holding you back. You holding on to the thing that hurt you years ago, and that thing don't even exist no more. It's an invisible roadblock. It's like a pit bull tied to a plastic white chair, and he think it's heavy. It's
horse?
I say a pit bull. I ain't have a lot of horses.
No, because you can tie a horse. Back in the day, they tie a horse to anything.
Oh yeah, I have seen that analogy. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's just the tie. I just be like, why they tie? The horse just pull it off and snap it, but it ain't that. It's just the fact of it tied to a horse. I'm with you though.
That's a better analogy. I'm glad you blessed me with that. And that's what it is. We think we're stuck, but the only place you get stuck at is in your mind. And once your mind is trapped, bro, your body is at a paralyzed state. So it's a king out there that's giving up on his career right now. He's giving up on the dream he had. He put his dream down because he think he too old, or he not smart enough, or he ain't got what it takes. It's a famous quote Les Brown told me, and he said, Will, the reason why most people don't reach their full potential is because of the things they think they need. Let me repeat that. The reason why most people don't reach their full potential because of the things they think they need. When everything you needed was in you when you was born. You just got to unlock it. That's why I say a saying, everybody on this earth is a walking $1 million check, but not everybody signs the signature. Gotta sign the signature.
Fuck is you saying, man? Bro, tell everybody where they can follow you at, dog.
You can follow me at William King Hollis on Instagram, man. You can find everything else there from the link in the bio, man. And I just want to tell Parlay, man, I want to thank you for what you do for our community. You do for our young black kings in the sporting lane, because we all had a Parlay growing up. And but the blessing about you is that the fact that you're doing it the right way, you're doing it the legit way, and you're doing something that's saving generations of families. And when I was talking about in the interview, it's basically, this is what you help people do. When you're growing up in the trenches, sometimes you grow up with a rotten tree, but sometimes you got to replant that tree. And what your league represents is gives a kid an opportunity to replant that tree, nourish it better, love it better.
For sure.
So they next generation of family members can say, we beat that curse. It's defeated and it's over. So I thank you for what you're doing in the community, and I thank you for allowing me to come on this podcast. This is definitely my favorite podcast I've ever been on, because it's been a dream of mine to come on with you for a long time, man. And you as a coach and a leader, man.
Appreciate it. I don't think my wife about that. You know what I'm saying? They be King always gotta have a queen now.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That way, boy, I can make it, but not like that. I know it definitely wouldn't be like that.
Hey, only in the womb of a woman can a man breathe underwater, King.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's
That's it.
thing to God.
That's
baby.
it, boy. I'm telling you, bro. Like, you ain't
that,
there lying.
I got one. I know.
You ain't there lying. Nah, we ain't done. I'm gonna kidnap you, man.
got you,
I'm
baby.
telling you, man. I'm gonna kidnap you. I'm one of them people. I kidnap people. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna kidnap you, man. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think that your vision and where you're going and what you're trying to do, and what I do and what we're trying to do, I definitely think it aligns. Told you when we first told you I'm real spiritual. I believe in coincidences. Everything happened for a reason. Everything happened on time.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And, come on. Oh, my bad. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything happened on time. And big man make no mistakes, bro. Everybody's here where they supposed to be. You end up being here with homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All this connection it's not by mistake, bro. It's by design. Like, you just have to be able to understand what's your part in the picture that's getting played. What's your role in it? What's your role in this movie? Mm-hmm. Every scenario, every situation is a different movie.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? You have to play a different character in these different movies. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we definitely gonna be able to do some shit together.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I'm excited, motherfucker, dog.
Man.
Nah, for real, man.
We do some great things, man. I actually, it was so crazy. I remember they was playing y'all music, man. I went over to Kingston, Jamaica, and shout out to George Pong, man, the Donna Tivoli Gardens, man, and Arnett Gardens. I went over there and spent about a week and a half over there, and I remember they was playing your music, man. And when I got back, that's what motivated me to write you. Yeah, bro, because I was like, man, our people, man, they don't know how many people love us, man, and I don't know if nobody ever experienced this feeling, but there is no better feeling in the world than walking to a place where all of your people celebrating you. That shit is like it's like a drug that they haven't even been able to create yet.
Yeah,
it's a high that's out of this world, and I wish more of us here in America, bro, would love our brothers as we love ourselves, and lose the mindset that I gotta kill this nigga or I gotta murder this nigga. Because every black man I see, bro, I love him, bro.
For sure that.
I got no hate towards them men. And I really want every black man that's successful, that shit is put a smile on my face. Because I know where we came from to have it. But I just wish all my brothers to have that mentality that when they see their brother shining, fix the light a little brighter for them.
For sure that. And I think we keep having conversations like this and the people that we having, I think for most people, it's the methods and the way to be able to do things. So with people like you coming here and sharing your experiences and how you made it through it, you know, how you fought through and what you're doing, I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And just especially in your football story, and me having so many kids who I coach, who we coach, and who do watch this and who familiar with a lot of things, who gonna see you and be like, oh, I be seeing his videos and being able to sit here and hear your story. I think it's all that motivation. So we're gonna keep this shit going, dog, man. Appreciate it.
Get
dog.
it, fam. It's such an honor.
You already know this your boy Parlay, man. And we in the Partment with Parlay. Meet me in the Partments.